As you probably know at this point, there was an AP update this week in Madden Ultimate Team in which we saw escape artists become far more expensive and we saw more defensive AP. In fact, the defense has gotten 18 AP to the offense's 14. This has led to a lot of players out there either complaining about how much more expensive their escape artist is than it used to be, and the concern that the zero blitz meta with one step aheads and short route, medium route, and deep route knockouts was going to take over and make offense impossible. I couldn't disagree more. In fact, I salivate when you guys want to bring a zero blitz on the field.
Really, the only word for it is...
So on the other side of the intro, I'm going to show you exactly why running a man coverage meta with a zero blitz approach is a terrible defensive strategy. Let's get into it. What is up, guys? Zan from the Madden YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the zero blitz meta. Obviously, with the 18 AP on the defensive side of the ball, a lot of players are starting to think that man coverage is becoming more viable.
Calm, cool, collected.
Now, if you were to take a look at the offensive AP meta as of a week ago before this AP update, it was escape artist and deep out elites and a heavy zone meta on defense, where that deep outside elite was going to be able to, ag zone coverage or make those possession catches on the sidelines in traffic. If you guys are enjoying today's video, could you please do me a quick favor? Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. It would help me immensely as we're pushing towards 12,000 subscribers here on the channel. I really do appreciate the continued support and, looking forward to the next 1,000. Now, obviously, with the escape artist being more expensive, a lot of players are having to find ways to move the football without the escape artist buying them time and chucking up some of those route apprentice skinny posts or, those deep out elite corners. You guys get the drift. A lot of players are starting to struggle with the man coverage meta. Now, I do think that the man coverage meta can be good. I know I said in the intro that I don't think it's a good strategy, but I'm going to get into exactly why, and it's going to make a lot of sense. I will say, however, if you get the guessing game of your AP right against your opponent with there being no halftime adjustments, by the way, when are those coming back, EA? That's ridiculous that you haven't brought it back yet. If you guess your AP wrong and you end up facing somebody who's got a bunch of one-step aheads or knockouts on the field and you don't have route running abilities, it can be a long game for the offense. But I do think that it's time to change your approach to how you construct your offense from an AP standpoint. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to attack a heavy man coverage zero blitz meta. I've gone and I've put 4 defensive backs on the Panthers, 2 of which are going to have the one step ahead. Those are going to be Stephon Gilmore and Jalen Ramsey. And then we're going to have deep route and short route knockouts in the form of Marlon Humphrey and Darius Slay. On the offensive side of the ball, we're going to get into why you don't necessarily have to have a ton of route running abilities, but it would make nothing but sense for you to have at least 3 on your field. I do think that you can beat one step aheads without a route running ability. Your route tree is just more limited. But let's go ahead and start to put this into practice. The biggest formation that most players are fearing right now is going to be the 4-3 even 6-1 with all of these players with one step ahead. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put Jalen Ramsey, who's got one step here. I'm going to put Gilmore over here with one step, and then we'll start to talk about the knockout abilities on the left side. So I'm going to put Marlon Humphrey here, and I'm going to put Darius Slay here. Both of those players have deep knockout, and also Marlon Humphrey will have short knockout on top of that. And of course, the zero blitz meta is what most players fear, which is going to be your Sam Will blitz. Now, of course, we've seen the 4-3 even 6-1 this year. There's a lot of players out there that claim that you have to have escape artist to beat this defense. I've played without escape artist or gunslinger all year. I play under center. If anything, I invite the zero blitz more than the average player. And it can be a problem if you face somebody that knows how to adjust and shade and put zones occasionally on their field. But if you're facing someone who just wants to run zero blitzes on you and doesn't adjust well or doesn't know how to effectively shade in man coverage, it's a short game for the most part. So let's go ahead and talk about 3 abilities that you should be looking at on your offense depending on what you run. There are 3 primary abilities that I think everybody should be looking at, and then there's one under the radar that, depending on what offensive formation you call, can also be really useful for you. So let's start off in my favorite offense, which is the single back bunch X nasty. I do a lot of breakdowns out of this on the YouTube channel. I've got a full game plan with 3+ updates on gridirongameplans.gg with plans to drop another update today. If you guys are watching this video on February the 25th, I've got an update coming today that's going to add some new setups to this as well. But in general, I'm just going to show you guys kind of some ad lib structure for this offense, and really you can apply this to pretty much any offense that you run. So I've got 3 abilities that I want to talk about here that every offense should be looking at depending on the archetype that you're running for your MUT team. So the first one that we want to talk about is obviously going to be your route tech. The route tech is renowned as the best route running ability in Madden. It's going to light up against man coverage unless it is a 1 step ahead. This includes any player on the field that has a knockout ability. The next ability that I want to talk about is going to be the slot-o-matic. The slot-o-matic must be on a player that is lined up in the slot. To know if your player is a slot receiver, pull up their hot route menu, and if they've got obviously your slot apprentice routes, if you have a hot route master, then you know it's a slot. Obviously, if they have flats in part of their hot route tree, you're going to know it is a slot, which means that they're going to light up on any slot route that they run. So for this particular setup, I'm actually going to be rocking Chris Godwin over here with the slot-o-matic, and he is compressed in this X Nasty, which does make him a slot. The third ability is the one that I rely on most, and that is going to be the short in elite. And a lot of players out there don't know how short in elite works. This is actually an ability that gives you catching traffic from 0 to 10 yards inside the numbers. But also, if you run a route that cuts in that same grid against man coverage, it will light up as if it was a slot-o-matic or a route tech. The fourth ability that we're going to talk about, I'll get to towards the end of this video. But let's go ahead and take the field here with a hot route master quarterback like Tom Brady. My contention is that you should obviously go into any game that you're playing right now with 3 players that have route running abilities. And the reason for this is that depending on the archetype, if you are economical with your AP expenditure, a route runner is going to get route tech for 2 AP. A slot is going to get a slot-o-matic for 2 AP. And if you have a physical archetype, you're going to rely on the short in elite for 2 AP. So you could have 3 receivers on your field, regardless of what archetype they are, with a route running ability at 2 AP apiece, which is 6 total AP. From the defensive side of the football, if you wanted to run 2 one-step aheads, 1 step ahead is 4 a pop. So if you run 2 of those, that's 8 out of your 18 AP. And realistically, if you're going to be effective in a 1 step ahead 0 blitz meta, you're probably going to want 3, which is going to cost you 12 AP. Thank you for checking out this free content over here on the Zan Madden YouTube channel. If you guys are enjoying this content, make sure that you guys also check out my strategy website, gridirongameplans.gg. Gridiron Game Plans is your one-stop source for all things competitive Madden. Every week in our Vault update, we go over the meta, or the most effective tactics available being used by pro players on the MCS circuit, breaking down not only how and why the pros do what they do, but most importantly, how you can counteract those metas when you face them in online gameplay. On top of that, your subscription also includes any and every game plan on the site all year long for just a low price of $9.95 a month. And you guys get access to our Discord channel, where we have members of the Gridiron Game Plans community chatting daily, helping each other get better at the game. And this also includes a lab session every single Wednesday night on the channel. So make sure you guys get over to the website. If you guys are looking for the best escape artist defense in the community, you have to look no further. gridirongameplans.gg. Now back to the video. So if you have 3 one-step aheads on your field for 12 AP, and I have 3 route running abilities on my field for 6 AP, this is where this gets dicey for the defense. Let's pay attention very, very closely to the right side of the screen. We've got our 1 step aheads, which are Jalen Ramsey and Stephon Gilmore. They are going up against 2 players that have route running abilities, the short in elite on Hopkins and the route tech on Adams. Anytime you have a route ability against a 1 step ability, you will get a neutral interaction, meaning that the 1 step ahead will not light up, nor will the route tech. When this interaction occurs, this reverts the matchup back to basically stock rules for beating man coverage. You either need to have a route running advantage over their man coverage, or you need to have a route that is just, frankly, a man beater, which we know that there are certain routes that just beat man no matter the ratings. You could have 99 man against 1 route running and it'll still get open. So let's go ahead and show you something that I will do frequently in my offense. This doesn't have to just be the X Nasty. So if I put Devontae Adams on a corner here on this play, with his route tech, you're going to note that he's not going to light up, but he is going to win against the one step ahead either way. So let's just go ahead and block Gronkowski here against the 6-man pressure. And I'm going to throw this corner route knowing that Davante Adams is going to get open, even though he's not going to route tag. So we snap this football. He runs through the corner. I throw this down and outside. It's a rack. And honestly, that could have been a touchdown if the ball were spotted on the other hash. I would have had a little bit more room to turn up the sideline and run away from the man coverage. Now let's go ahead and pay attention here. If I were to put Hopkins on, let's say, just a regular post, and let's go ahead and put Adams on an out route. So in this situation, I'm going to go ahead and run something similar and just kind of isolate for Hopkins. And I'm going to snap this football. He's going to run over the middle and he's going to get separation. He did not need his short in elite to activate right there. He just got open because you shut off the one step ahead.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
What's really, really interesting about this is kind of the thought that some players might want to, on top of the one step ahead, stack a knockout ability. In that situation, you could maybe play effective man coverage, because if you had a player that maybe had medium route KO on this exact throw, there is a chance that as he gets touched right here, because it is a medium route, meaning it's between 11 and 20 yards downfield, that if this player that has one step ahead, even though that one step ahead didn't work, if he had medium route KO for 2 more AP, he could force a drop on this. But if he doesn't, this is a catch for a gain of 15 for Nuke Hopkins over the middle. Now, as you start to kind of think about this, we have, let's say, 3 one-step aheads on the field facing 3 route running abilities. We're paying 12 AP for it not to work against 6 AP of route running abilities. We're also giving up the catches because they're still getting open if you know what you're doing from a hot route, or just in general how routes get open in this game against man coverage. You have to pay that extra AP to be able to make them drop this, which is going to raise the cost from the one step ahead from 4 to one step ahead plus a route KO, whether that's medium or deep route KO, which will raise them from 4 apiece to 6 apiece. So now if you want to run triple one step ahead, you're looking at 6 AP per player. That's 3 one step aheads for 18 out of 18 AP.
Math.
Now, most players that want to run the zero blitz meta also want to have under pressure on their 3 runners to make your quarterback throw inaccurately. So now you all of a sudden see how this meta can't really afford the cost that it needs to pay to run it effectively if you simply have 3 route abilities on your field. I've been saying this all year, even during the zone coverage meta. If you have 3 route running abilities on the field, it makes it next to impossible to run man coverage or match coverage, because you're just not going to have the horses to run with the route running players because it costs too much to play the man coverage on them, especially if you're talking straight up cover 1 or cover 0. Now, I want to talk about here on the left side of the formation. I've been waiting to talk about the knockouts. There are some players out there that believe that you can run a knockout cocktail of short, medium, and deep on a few players and just let the man coverage ride. Go play your island and go make people drop the ball. The problem with knockout abilities is that they do not play tight enough coverage on a route ability for the knockout ability to work. Let me go ahead and show you what I mean right here. I'm going to put Chris Godwin, who has Slot-O-Matic, on a corner. I'm going to make sure that I've got Gronk over here as well. I'm going to send him on a route so Godwin doesn't get double teamed. And I want you to see how this knockout ability behaves against the Slot-O-Matic. We snap the ball, drop back to pass. He makes the cut, and we can make that catch, whether that's a possession catch or otherwise, for a nice gain. You saw right there the out elite tried to light up. It didn't work. What if I were to go ahead and send this guy across the middle on this route? So now this time I'm just going to clear out for Godwin and let his route running ability work. And you're going to see he's going to run. He's going to cut over the middle with the Slot-O-Matic, and I'm going to throw that ball right there. And the player's not close enough for his ability to work, so it doesn't work. You have to have the one step ahead plus the knockout ability for this to effectively work. If you factor in also that there are just so many routes in the game that beat one step aheads without a route ability, you can also understand that this is going to be a problem. Let me show you another example. I'm going to put in a regular, just naked wide receiver. I'm going to put in Brashad Perriman. And I'm going to let him run a route that is arguably one of my favorite routes in the game against man coverage, just a simple whip pattern. And you're going to see that the one step ahead cannot work against this either. So I'm just going to go ahead and clear out the formation here. And I'm going to snap the ball and watch Perriman go. And you see right there, I can throw that ball to the outside. It wasn't a sexy game. Perriman doesn't have a crazy route running rating. If I wanted to put maybe somebody like Scotty Miller there, who's maybe even a little bit better, you're going to see that it'll behave a little bit for you. But again, here's the whip. You can throw this to the outside pretty easily. And you see right there, the acrobat wasn't able to get there. Again, this is a matchup where you have like a high 90s rated corner against somebody who doesn't have any route running. Now, if I were to go ahead and use this neutral interaction right here of Adams against his one step ahead, you're going to see how he works against his one step ahead. It's actually going to be really, really good. And you're going to see here, again, I can throw that underneath, and that's still 6 yards. It's really, really tough for you to do this. Now, what a lot of players will do against whip routes is they're going to shade their coverage down because they don't want you to be able to throw those. And that will smother a hitch route, but then that opens up pretty much everything else in the route tree, in particular post routes. So if I were to go ahead against somebody who was playing man coverage, I would go ahead and set up just a little 3-route combo against them, and I would read the whip. Does the whip look open? Okay, if it's smothered, then I know both of my posts are wide open. So I'm going to go ahead and snap this ball. Whip smothered. I've got the shaded over the top coverage or the shaded underneath coverage rather gets fried on both sides. Ramsey nowhere near his guy. And also the route to Godwin over the middle was wide open as well. So I hope you guys can kind of understand that this game is really not built to play a heavy man coverage. Obviously, there is more value to the zero blitz meta in guaranteeing pressure, so you have to throw quickly. But I do want to kind of stress that there are pickups for the 4-3 even 6-1. I know it's contrary to popular belief. I'm actually going to be talking about it in the update to my game plan and in general in a future vault update on Gridiron game plans, how to pick up the 4-3 even 6-1. Because a lot of people think that this is an unslidable blitz that simply put cannot be picked up. If you guys know what you're doing with this blitz, it's actually rather easy to handle, and this defense becomes a lot tougher to run. Again, I know a lot of people are heading to this defense, which is why I wanted to do a YouTube video today. I do want to finish up with one last thought. I said there was a 4th route running ability that you should be looking at, and that is the short out elite. So what you need for the short out elite is a player that is lined up outside the numbers. So I'm going to put Tyreek Hill on the field here. I know he's really, really fast. But you're going to see here that even against man coverage, if I have a player lined up outside the numbers on a route that breaks over the middle, a lot of players would think short out elite wouldn't work on a slant. But what you're going to see here with Tyreek is that he's actually going to light up on his route. Now I'm going to go ahead and motion out here. I'm just going to kind of clear out the right side for him. And you're going to see that he's going to cut over the middle and light up and get separation as if he has a route ability. And you see just how easily we could have potentially made that a one-play score against a zero blitz. Now, a lot of players out there are going to end up doing the whole, base align, show blitz to kind of pressure corners type of deal. Again, if you have that situation, you might end up having to beat some press. But again, not that big of a deal. You're going to see right here with Hill, with short out elite, he's going to work off of this press. Right there, he didn't really get an animation. But again, you just get such a good animation unless they know how to shade. And once they start to shade, whether that's down to take away slants and whips, you're going to start to get a lot of other stuff open. So let me show you what I mean. So here, I'm going to do the baseline press to get the, or the baseline show blitz to get the press animation on the outside. And I'm going to shade underneath. That's designed to take away your whips and whatnot. I'm going to put Tyreek Hill on a hot route master post, and I'm going to smart route it down. Smart route it down so that way it cuts right at 10 yards, getting the benefit of the short out elite. So check out what happens here. I'm going to motion Fournette out so the safety doesn't double Tyreek Hill. I'm going to block Gronk for 6 guys blocking 6. And I'll just go ahead and run a whip and a corner combo here, or maybe a whip and a regular post to A. I want you to, by the way, look at Grayson Jr. I don't even know who this is on his post against this one step. We'll get to that momentarily. But you can see he's going to work off the press, and then he's going to fry his man all the way over the top for the one-play score. And that's against an adjustment a lot of players are going to try to do to guard whips and corner routes. So if we go into the instant replay menu here, you're going to see how this behaves. And you see right here that Grayson Jr. did create separation against Jalen Ramsey as a one-step. He would need to have a speed advantage to continue running away from him, which I don't know if he had that, but this is a window that unless you had a knockout ability or got a lucky acrobat dive, this is going to be a completion if you can lead him out into space over here. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind that this is really, really hard to play a cover zero blitz every single play. You have to be right on your shading, your user has to be right, and you have to be good at dropping zones in between your coverage. So I know that this was a little bit of a longer video today, but I wanted to do this because I've seen so many people talking about how zero blitzing was going to dominate the game. Again, you know, you don't need Escape Artist to pick up the 4-3 even 6-1. If you want the slide protection, it's going to be on Gridiron Game Plans in the near future. So if you want that, head over to gridirongameplans.gg. You saw in the little ad in the middle that $9.95 unlocks the entire website. That's the vault updates every week and all of our game plans, as well as our lab sessions. If you guys have more questions and you're on Gridiron, make sure you guys hop in our Discord as well. Hop in our lab sessions every Wednesday and ask these questions. These are the things that we go over with the members. And I'm telling you, our members are loving the Zero Blitz meta right now, loving facing it rather. They're not running it. This is Zan. Get in the lab and good luck.